The Prophet Muhammad was born around the year 570 in Mecca. He became an orphan at a young age. He was known for his honesty and trustworthiness. At the age of 40, he received his first revelation from God. The revelation came through the angel Gabriel in the cave of Hira. Muhammad was commanded to recite what he heard. These revelations continued for 23 years and formed the basis of the Quran. This event marked the beginning of his prophetic mission. The core message of Islam is belief in one God, known as Allah. This concept is called Tawheed. Tawheed emphasizes the oneness and uniqueness of God. Islam believes that Allah is the creator and sustainer of everything. Allah is all-knowing, all-powerful, and ever-present. Allah is seen as merciful, compassionate, and just. Islam emphasizes God's infinite mercy and justice. Muslims believe that God is always fair and right. Another important belief is the role of prophets. Prophets are chosen individuals who convey God's messages to humanity. They are tasked with guiding people to the right path and teaching them God's commands. Prophets are messengers sent by God to guide humanity. They convey God's messages and lead people to the right path. Prophets teach people God's commands and prohibitions. Islam recognizes prophets from all faiths, including Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. These prophets were sent to convey God's messages. Islam believes that all prophets are messengers of God. The Prophet Muhammad is considered the final prophet, sealing God's message to humanity. He is the last messenger of God and the most important figure in Islam. Muhammad delivered God's final message to humankind. Islam also emphasizes the belief in the afterlife. The afterlife refers to life after death. Muslims believe in life after death and that they will be held accountable for their deeds. There will be a day of judgment when people will be held accountable for their actions. On that day, everyone's deeds will be weighed and justice will be served. The day of judgment is the day when God's justice will prevail. The righteous will be rewarded with paradise, while the wicked will be punished in hell. Paradise is the eternal abode of bliss for those who have earned God's pleasure, while hell is the place of punishment for sinners. Prophet Muhammad's message challenged the existing social order in Mecca. Many people worshipped idols and rejected the idea of one God. The early Muslims faced persecution and hostility. They were mocked, threatened, and even physically harmed. Despite the persecution, the Muslim community gradually grew. Many were drawn to the message of equality and social justice. However, opposition from the Meccan elite intensified. The Hijra, a turning point. Facing increasing persecution, Prophet Muhammad and his followers migrated to Medina in 622 AD. This migration is considered a pivotal moment in Islamic history. Muslims embarked on this arduous journey to escape oppression in Mecca and practice their faith freely. This event, known as the Hijra, marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. This calendar is a significant element that shapes Muslim history and culture. Medina welcomed the Muslims and provided them with protection. The people of Medina showed great hospitality to these newcomers, known as the Muhajirun. The Hijra allowed the Muslim community to flourish. In Medina, Muslims could establish their own society and freely practice their faith and way of life. Prophet Muhammad established the first Muslim community in Medina, laying the foundation for a new society. This new society played a crucial role in the spread and strengthening of Islam. The First Caliphate. Abu Bakr's leadership. After Prophet Muhammad's death in 632 AD, his close companion, Abu Bakr, became the first caliph. The caliph's role was to lead the Muslim community. Abu Bakr faced the challenge of maintaining unity among the newly formed Muslim community. He successfully quelled rebellions and consolidated Muslim control over Arabia. Preserving and expanding the faith. During the early caliphate, great importance was placed on preserving the Quran. As the foundational source of Islam, the Quran was meticulously safeguarded, both orally and in written form. Significant efforts were made during this period to ensure the accurate transmission and preservation of the Quran for future generations. Quranic verses, memorized and written down, were compiled into a single authoritative text. This process ensured that the foundational text of Islam was preserved without alteration, fostering unity among Muslim communities. This ensured the preservation of the divine revelation for future generations. The accurate teaching and understanding of the Quran played a vital role in the spiritual and cultural development of Islamic societies. The early caliphs also oversaw the expansion of Islamic rule. The desire to spread the message of Islam led Muslim armies to advance into new territories. Driven by faith and a desire to share the message of Islam, Muslim armies ventured beyond Arabia. This expansion also brought with it the cultural and scientific riches of Islamic civilization. However, they also emphasized respect for other religions. During the spread of Islam, the principle of peaceful coexistence with communities of different faiths was embraced.